Hello, guys. Welcome to one more podcast. Artur, today we are going to,
Hello.
speak freely about some questions, yes?
Yes, because we don't have
A theme.
no, not a theme. We don't have
Uh,
you
a
know.
what? No, it's a theme because what happens is Miguel...
But the right word is not team. Team is something else. It's
Okay.
Okay, so let's pick some
So, let's just recap this. So,
some random
Miguel,
questions.
which is right here recording everything, made some questions. We have no clue about what these questions are. Some could be spicy or not. Let's see. So, do you want to start?
That's for sure.
Okay.
I will start.
No
And-
palming?
No. Okay, so the first question is one trick to grab the audience attention in 60 seconds.
Okay. I know a few, but...
So I think it depends on the context. But if you are on I don't know, table hopping, walk around kind of context, I believe that a fire wallet could be a good one, depending again on the context. It certainly will grab someone's attention.
Yes.
Not only the ones you are going to be performing to, but the whole room. But if not, I would say card trick, like appearing aces, or I don't know, something quick, something that's
Yes.
that is magical at the same time. So,
I really like an appearing deck with, for example, flash
Yes.
paper, like you said. And if it's on stage, in my opinion, a good one will be, this one. You have done it so many times, Ballerama by Kevin James.
yes.
Because it never gets old, right? Because it's that classic trick where the magician goes, notepad, drawing in less than 60 seconds actually, and then boom, a bowling ball appears, and it's great, right? So it's
Out of
another idea.
nothing. Yeah.
So yeah, two good options or three. Okay, let's move on.
Yes, that's actually a good thing to talk about, perhaps in another show. Appearances, right?
Appearing what?
When you perform
appearances.
on stage, of course, when you approach some table is one thing, but in stage shows,
Shadow tent.
we have done that before, but now the way that you start your show and you appear on stage, I think this is quite important and interesting to talk about. Perhaps later in another show we
Yes,
can
yes.
discuss this. But let's take one more.
One more. Okay. Let me see. That one was super easy. Now I'm sure that I'm going to. What's the most ridiculous prop or object you had to use in a trick?
Okay. Ridiculous prop or object to use in a trick.
I know one. There is one trick where I used to to do like the cards across, the cards across. And then I will say that imagine that I have a special, and actually Luis Matos used it to do this many, many times, many years ago. There is a special tool that will help you to allow the cards travel from one place to the other. And basically it's something used in the kitchen to mix
Yes,
eggs.
I
Very,
remember.
very old. I don't know if it's known nowadays, but it's something this big with a little handle. When you do this, it turns.
It's to mix the eggs.
Mix the eggs,
Yes.
right. So I used to place this, that's why it's ridiculous, in front of a spectator like this, and then I had a spectator to turn it like this to make the thoughts or the card invisibly travel from one place to the other. Pretty ridiculous, that's why I mentioned it. That's one that I remembered. Do you have any? No.
I used quite a few over the years. When I used to do like these stage shows, I use I put some glasses to the spectator, like to impersonate some character. But overall, it's not
Ridiculous?
ridiculous. But overall, I don't really like tricks with shoes, for example. it's a thing. I don't think it's elegant to ask the spectator to take out the shoes. Also, I think it's a little bit dirty because the shoes overall, although they are clean but overall they are like dirty. They are, it's used to be on the floor. So overall, I don't really like seeing routines and involving shoes, either spectator or magician. So
Yeah, now that I can remember, perhaps the jumbo sidekick. I used to love that trick, but nowadays, the more I think about it, the more the collector's workshop jumbo sidekick.
It's a very good trick.
It's a very good trick, but I think that perhaps with another kind of approach. There's one also with balloons where the spectator shoots and the balloon goes. It's even worse, I think. I mean, I'm saying the jumbo sidekick, but it's a classic.
But this trick, jumbo sidekick, is very good. So the workings, the method, it's
great,
amazing.
It never failed me, and
but
I've done it so many
times. Now
that
you mention what. So you used to perform this when we were younger.
I did this dozens of times,
and it involves a gun. A very realistic one. So I'm just wondering what did the spectators and the whole audience would think.
I don't know
when they see a magician,
but the reaction
taking
was good.
out the gun.
Yes, for everyone that doesn't know, the jumbo sidekick is it's a classic, and we must mention that Copperfield did his own version with a giant deck of cards. Anyway, in the Niagara Falls special. But there is a table, yes, there is a flower, there is a deck of cards. The spectator selects a card. Let's imagine the 5 of clubs. It goes into the middle of the deck.
It's a jumbo deck.
A jumbo deck, yes. The spectator has a gun. It tries to aim. And the idea is that the invisible bullet goes through all the cards and stops exactly in the selected card. And what happens, the spectator tries, and then the cloth from the table falls a little.
It's a series of
then the rose shoots from the, and then finally the whole table falls. Okay. Now is appearing a video, so everyone can see the effect.
Certainly, yeah.
So do you think it's not...
I mean, the trick is very good, and also the mechanism, the workings is amazing. But perhaps yes, nowadays it's not. Unless you are in America, where they have own to use guns and to own guns, their own right to use guns. Unless you are in America, I don't see it to be a good thing.
But the electronics are really good because I remember that it triggered either with a remote control or by the sound of the pistol, when you shoot, it was automatic. So it's really good. The trick. Now I don't see it, I don't know. It's still a pretty good trick nowadays, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
In the right context, I would say.
Not the most ridiculous one, but I remember it just so. That's it.
Any more objects, ridiculous objects?
I remember placing one into a mask into the spectator with the teeth really big. The idea was that I used to do the classic. It is a version of Fernando Coimbra from Fenianos.
Version of
and
what?
I adapted this version to my own, which was a knife-through jacket. Okay, so it's something that I did on stage many years ago, and I remember saying that the spectator is not thinking this is very funny. And of course not, because I'm ripping his jacket apart with a giant kitchen knife. So now I want you to be always smiling. I don't care what I do to your jacket. I want to be always smiling. So I used to go to my briefcase and place him a mask, which is ridiculous. And it's with his big mouth, and
I see.
And everyone was making fun of the spectator because of the mask. It's pretty ridiculous anyway. Okay, let's move on.
All times, yes.
It's your turn now.
Oh, okay. Oh. There you go. One magic fail that still haunts you to this day. One magic fail.
I know several, so you can start if you want, or I can. Do you want me to start?
Perhaps. Let me think a little bit on this one.
While you think, I'm going to say one.
Okay.
I used to have the Spontos levitation. By the way, the inventor is not with us anymore. He left us pretty recently, actually. But the spontaneous levitation was something that I saw at one FISM. I don't know if it's in Italy, I think, or I don't really recall. But I bought it because I did many shows with it. Even I performed it on TV.
And it's still very relevant.
Yes, it's very good
itself.
because I think it's the only levitation where if you want you can do it in walk around because it has wheels. You can place the spectator
yes.
and there is nothing around. Now are appearing some images. So it's a great effect, right? But I had a magic school, the Oporto Magic School. And we used to do gala shows every 6 months or something like that. And so there was all of the parents from the kids that I teach during this 6-month period. And I performed this with the spectator. And for some reason, the levitation went perfectly, but it didn't went down. It was stuck. And I was there moving my arms like... And, okay, so what am I going to do, right? So I placed my hands on the table with the spectator in front of me levitating, and I moved little by little like a cartoon to the side of the stage. Then I asked Anna to help me remove the spectator, and the table fell like this boom. I mean,
I
big noise. Everyone was looking. It was ridiculous. It was the worst thing that ever happened to me. Then I said to the spectator, "Thank you so much. It was great. It was pretty strange." Then I said to the audience, "Now I will start doing more card tricks from now on." And it was. I'm glad it was not on a paid gig or a big corporate event or TV. It's what it is, right?
It happens, right? Yeah.
You cannot top this one, right? With a fail. I have another one. I'll tell you another one. I used to do a show in Algarve, which is the smoke glass. So you have a show glass of wine. You cover it with a cloth. Then
What was the inventor of this?
I don't want to say because the trick failed, and it's not good for him. So I will not say his name.
Okay.
But I used to do the Hindu trick, the Tornado Story Hindu, the classic. Then I blew the candle out, and the idea is that I covered the glass with the silk, and then I grabbed some of the smoke from the candle and threw it to the glass, and I was there for 30 seconds, and when I removed the cloth, the glass was empty. So it was pretty strange. However, I must say this, and this is really, I think it's the truth, and I feel this every time I do this, which is, when you fail, if the rest of the show is good, if the audience likes, more than the tricks, likes your persona, likes your kind of entertainment, this small thing, they don't really make a big deal out of this, So if the rest of the show is really good and people are hooked, this is something that, people see, but it's not, he fell, oh my God. No, does not happen like this.
And people like to see magicians fail. It's like they're...
it's not the goal because they paid to be...
Yes, of course.
Entertain them.
But I agree with what you are saying, of course. And that's very important for you as a magician to know and to know how to handle with these situations. So you don't make the situation cringe for the spectators. You can just walk out in a soft way from out of the situation.
Yes, and the truth is that these kind of things only happen to people that really do it,
Of course.
So now it's the last time I'll mention Copperfield in this podcast. He told me that one time he was doing the flying and he was stuck in the middle of the theater flying, and he was stuck. The machine didn't move, and he had to close the curtains.
Yeah.
Even it happens to everyone. So did you ever had any epic fail like this?
I had
Not it's our top mine, but
it is. But I had one situation where I was doing a trick with a ring, spectator ring. You know this one?
Yes.
And it was like flying ring. But before that, I was in a restaurant and I used a loop to make the ring levitate. You put the ring on your hand and then you just do this and the ring levitates. And that was the idea was to do this before doing the ring flight, whatever.
Yes.
And the ring fell on the floor. I don't know exactly why, but the loop I didn't hook well enough, or the loop break, I don't remember, and I had the ring on the floor. The restaurant was darky, so it was like the black walls and the black floor. I couldn't see the ring, and I started the spectators ring. It was, if I believe, was a wedding ring. Mm-hmm. I started to panic a little bit.
Of course,
I couldn't find the ring.
Oh my God.
At the same time, you need to calm the spectator. So you need to say, "Oh, this is normal. Things fell. If you drop one thing, it will fall on the floor. But we will find it with magic or something." But inside, I was dying. I was like, "What's happening to me?" And luckily, there was one waitress
Yes.
that was passing by, and she found the ring. And I was
relieved.
Oh, because I couldn't find the ring anywhere.
And where it was? It was very far from the table, or
I don't really know, because the waitress
appeared almost with it.
Yes, with the ring, because I was looking.
She saved your life.
Like
Imagine
under
that it
the
was
tables.
10,000 euros ring, or
it could be, yes, because
we don't know, right?
We don't really know. Actually, I've done magic, this flying ring, with very expensive rings. To be honest, and you can tell by the size of the stone. I've used some expensive rings from
gladly
clients.
Only happened. You never lost any. Gladly.
No, but that was one time. And I have another situation which happened me on a wedding, and luckily I had a plan B. But it was that plan B that. So I had invisible deck as plan B.
Run away from the room and never come back.
What happened is that confabulation routine. So you have this growing momentum that you ask the spectators when you want to go, and then at the end you have this envelope that is sitting in full view for all the spectators, and then the moment you go to reveal, the envelope is empty. Mm-hmm. And then you look at the envelope, and then you
no, then you start ripping it and do the snowstorm in China.
No, what I did, so I opened the envelope, I saw it was empty. At the same time, it's that feeling, you start sweating all over. You start to, I don't know, you get cold. You say, what's happening here? How do I get out of this situation?
Right.
And then I remember I ripped the envelope, and with a joke, I told, so you were expecting it to be inside the envelope, prediction from what you have just said, it would be a very good trick. But there is this one card, because in the confabulation routine, I asked one spectator to think of a card, and the spectator actually thought of a card, and so plan B was invisible deck with their thought of card. Uh-huh. So it went well, because I was able to have a plan B, but it's very hard when you are on stage.
Of course.
You build up the momentum, and then you don't have nothing. It's
horrible.
Yeah. But it only happens if you try. So.
Of course, that's the thing, right? Yeah. Yes, that's the thing. One more. It's your turn or mine?
It's your turn.
Mine. Okay. Expectation building up.
And now it's empty.
What's the most underrated trick ever?
Underrated. I see.
Mm-hmm. I know one. Underrated means that it's really good, but people don't really care about it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I know one that I've never seen many people talking about it. I've done it. You know this trick very well. It's very magical. And for me, it's the floating microphone by Don Wayne.
Okay.
Because you don't really see people talking about it, even in really go to forums, but I don't think
It's a very niche trick.
very
You
niche.
don't,
Yes, but
it's-
you don't really see it too much performed. For example, origamis, you see it. Ballerama by KV James, every magician does it. It's like every magician does appearing bowling ball, right? But this one, I can tell from my mind, just two magicians really doing it. Besides myself, it was Luís de Matos and Paul Romani. I don't really recall seeing any more performer other than myself and these two other magicians doing it. And I think it's really underrated because it's beautiful. It's a really very magical illusion. I have an idea to adapt this trick to a new version. I want to tell about it. Yes. Yes, I have
this
some
trick
ideas.
is also a very I mean not very but you need to practice
Yes.
quite some time because
Yes.
it's not out of the box. You need to have a certain,
Of course.
but it's a very very nice trick. It's one of those tricks that you can
It's very hard to
it's a
perform.
musical performance. It's like you start and for 4 minutes or 5 minutes you have that routine all musical. Of course, you can. I mean, have your own presentation with the voice over, but it's a musical routine. It's one
Yes.
of those routines like the Indo thread, for example.
But
If
it's
you-
very magical. It's because normally when you do, for example, the zombie or the floating birdcage of Tommy Wonder or the floating table from Lausanne or wherever it is, right? You are always grabbing the cloth, and I think the audience is not stupid. I mean, you are holding the cloth. If the object is
but
levitating,
it's very deceptive.
yes, if the object is levitating, remove your hands from the cloth and let it float. And with this one, you can. I mean, you can literally move both ends and you do this, and the microphone flies around. I mean, it's beautiful. I remember seeing Luís de Matos' show many, many years ago. When I say many, I'm saying like almost 20 years ago in the Teatro Rivaliano in Porto, and I was in my hand. My great hand, I think, yes. And this is the only one of the very few effect that she remembers from the show.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
she was blown away. How is that floating microphone flying like that? It's unbelievable. So I don't really think it's very well known, this effect. The method, it's amazing, even though it's very simple. And yeah, this is my
I think
opinion.
levitation effects people enjoy. I believe, and this is something that's so magical that stays on their mind.
Yes. And I used to do like a floating ring. I had my own method of the hoop, you know?
Floating ring.
Yes, I did the hoop where you can pass through the microphone.
Okay.
Now is appearing another image. So basically, it's on YouTube. So I pass the ring from one end to the other.
It's the hoop. It's from which maker is it?
Myself. No, this method I invented, you know? This one I designed with here in Oporto.
Okay.
I've never sold this. It's my own method.
But
it's
you
different.
have the
The Walter Blaney one.
yes.
Yes,
You have
that
it.
one I have. Yes, but that one I had like 15 years later than this one that I'm telling you.
Okay.
This one, basically, it has a little hinge, you know, a very special hinge and magnets. So basically, when you have the pole or the wire or whatever it is, when it hits, it opens and then closes. It has a little latch. The Walter Blaney one, the Miracle Levitation Hoop, which is pretty expensive, by the way, works totally different.
Okay.
As you know, it's a work of art. You know, even I look at the hoop and I don't understand exactly how we can make a few of the things in there because of a very technical detail. Anyway, for me, the floating microphone by Don Wayne, I think it's called the floating microphone Follies. I think it's the original name. And yours, what's your opinion?
Okay, so perhaps in close up,
Okay.
I mentioned several times the flying ring from Ginton Bloom. It's a trick that I really enjoy performing.
Yes.
It's a little underrated because it's not very well known. But
I agree.
apart
I
from
agree.
that, I also think that because most people know already that I'm a great fan of that trick, but I still do multiplying rabbits, for example. which is also a little underrated. I don't know. At least
Many magicians do it. Many magicians.
But
yes.
there is this stigma of doing sponge balls routine, you know, and it's almost as if it's shameful, you know. But the thing is, I get very solid audience reaction response, not just from children but also adults every time. So we have a saying in Portugal that you don't change the winning team. So if it works, although I feel it's a little underrated trick, but it works for me. So
yes, it's better than sponge balls. Or the rabbits. It's better than the earplugs by Jay Sankey. I think it's
the earplugs.
Yes, because Jay Sankey used to have these with earplugs. So you say, "Oh, when I sleep, I have these two sponge things in my ears," and it.
Okay.
So that's good. Let's move on. Now it's my turn, or it's yours? I think it's yours.
I think it's my turn. Yes.
Okay. I'm forcing you. No.
Okay, if you could meet one magician from the past, who would it be?
Very good.
I mean,
great question.
From the past, it's already dead.
No, but if we could, for me, it will be 100% Roberto Da. Yes, Roberto Da, 100%. Because some of the methods that now I use, I think that now they all use electronics mostly, but at the time it was not like that. It was automatons, right? So the watches that he has and that he created, the Orange Tree, it's like a clockwork, right? They don't use any kind of batteries, right?
Right.
So it's really unbelievable. And it did so many things. For example, the first sensor, when you open the door, if someone opened the door of his home, he knew exactly that someone opened because of the noise of a bell, I think. So many of the things that nowadays we use with current technology are we really got some of the ideas from the past. So it was something that I would love to have met for sure. Yeah. And what about you?
I don't have this eager to actually meet someone from the past, to be honest. But
if you had that chance, who would it be?
I think perhaps Anverdi's. I really like Anverdi's work, and I know that you like it too.
Yes, I will.
So perhaps why not?
It's good. Anverdi's
would be a
good option.
Yeah, because of the electronics and because I was. You have books from him, and we discussed this already. We have seen electronics, how these electronics worked from back then, and they are very, very primitive buildings of electronics.
With plexiglass, a lot of plexiglass.
Yes, but the idea was there. So it would be great to actually discuss these processes and,
I agree.
You know.
And if you like, there is this book, which is 50 Years of Magical Creations, I think. And it's a great book. And it has most of his inventions in that book.
Yeah. All right.
Yes. And I have a collection piece from him, actually, which is, that box with some keys. And the only key that is left is the one that opens the box. It's really great. So it's my turn, right?
Sure.
Let's see.
You are very detailed.
The best and worst TV special you have ever seen.
TV special.
The best and worst.
Okay, perhaps I can start. Not with the worst, but also not with the best, because I have this problem.
This is the best and the worst.
Yes, yes, but I cannot tell you what is the best, because the best for me haven't happened yet. I'm always trying to, I don't know.
The best is yet to come for you.
I like to think so. But I've seen some very good ones. For example, Magic for Humans is contemporary. TV
very
show.
good, very good, amazing.
Which is very good.
Very.
But I would like to mention this one other show that's from DMC.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
It's not that recent, so it has a few years, like, I don't know, perhaps more than 5 years.
That one is another level, in my opinion.
Oh, you know, and you also think about that?
Yes.
I really
unbelievable.
liked that show.
Unbelievable.
It was very well structured, and
amazing.
the performances are of a detail that was
It's very hard to.
very, very good.
I agree.
As for the worst, perhaps we had a TV show back then.
Yes, that's right.
That's the worst.
Okay, I will go with that. 100%. I will go with that.
Sure.
Yes.
But perhaps not TV show, but I see a lot of magic performances on TikTok and on social media. And I see quite some bad ones. So perhaps not on TV, but I see.
And which one in particular? Or?
No, I won't mention. But I've seen some good ones. Like, for example, Javier Mortimer has this series of social media clips that are very good, very well produced.
They are.
And some of the clips, I can imagine that it costs quite a lot to produce that. I don't know, 20 seconds of a piece of magic.
Absolutely.
Quite a lot of money. But I've seen and I see on TikTok, for example, some performances of not so well-known magicians that also do pre-show. And I think that's unfair. And for that reason, I am out.
Okay. Okay.
But what about you?
Okay, about me. I don't want to say one of the worst, but I think it's pretty much outdated. What's the name of the Rudy Kobe one? There is a special by Rudy Kobe that I mean, it's not the worst. But it's not. It's something that for me is a little bit outdated, even though I really like Rudy Kobe.
The special is.
I don't really recall. It's with a clown. It's like a 45 minutes TV show with Rudy Kobe. I'm not a huge fan of the style of that TV show in particular. One that I really like, the best for me, of course, that Justin Willman did an amazing show with Magic for Humans. The ideas in there are really fresh, right? So I must really say that it's pretty impressive what he did. But still, I must say the Unexplained Forces TV special. No, I said I won't mention Copperfield again. It's the third time. I'm sorry. But yes, the Unexplained Forces TV special for me, it's the best of the best.
This is one, the one special where he has the haunted the spirit's house.
Yes, the Barclay House, exactly. Barclay House. Yes, the fan,
the amazing trick,
amazing. The elevator, interlude, it's unbelievable. The graffiti wall, you cannot beat it. I mean, never. It's impossible. It's the best ever for me. Totally different, of course, than Magic for Humans. We cannot compare them, right? It's different eras, different times. Of course, Magic for much more modern, but. The Unexplained Forces won it. That's why he won so many Emmys. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I think, yes, and these specials from Copperfield, they are different in a way that some parts are like live shows. And you see this TV special recorded live, although it's not 100% live. But,
of course.
But it is as if it's live. And so I'm just remembering, and like, for example, the TV shows from Darren Brown, which is a more similar approach to this because they are recorded live and, it has this feeling of audience live show. Magic for him is totally different. It's like street magic.
Totally, but very original. Very good, yes. So that's it. So we have like 35 minutes of podcast, I think. So
I think we can wrap this up.
Yes, we still have a few papers before Miguel thinks of more questions, but it was pretty good. The questions were very nice, right?
I think so, yes.
That's it. Let's wrap this up. Guys, thank you so much. See you on the next one.
See you. Bye bye.